Russian occupiers are present in part of Huliaipole in the Zaporizhia region, but they do not control the entire city. Military observer Denis Popovich reported this. The Russians are trying to send reinforcements to Huliaipole as they see prospects for capturing the city. I won't claim the crisis is over. That would be incorrect. Fighting is ongoing in Huliaipole, right in the city itself. Part of the city is in the red zone, meaning the enemy is present there. Part of the city is in the grey zone, but it's impossible to say the enemy controls Huliaipole, Popovich said. Fighting also continues north of Huliaipole. That is, the enemy is trying to act according to its usual scenario, to encircle the city from various sides, semi-encircle it, complicate our logistics to the extreme, and thus push our troops out of the settlement, the expert explained. At the moment, the situation in Huliaipole has stabilized relatively. I'll be cautious about the relative stabilization. Whether there will be further development remains to be seen, Denis Popovich concluded. At present, the city of Huliaipole is becoming a new large cemetery for Russian army and military equipment. Ukrainian volunteer army spokesman Serhiy Bratchuk announced that Russian occupiers are mining Huliaipole in the Zaporizhia region to prevent Ukrainian troops from advancing. They're mining everything. We're talking about buildings, the streets of the city itself, and remote mining, among other things. This is used to stop the movement of our assault units, the soldier noted. According to him, the Ukrainian side is also carrying out corresponding actions, including mining. Bratchuk emphasized that due to this situation, a significant portion of the territory in this direction has turned into a dangerous grey zone. It's clear that this situation will persist for the foreseeable future. The enemy is becoming increasingly depleted in this sector of the front. I'd like to remind you that the Russian Federation's 5th Combined Arms Army is the most active in this area. Its losses are so severe that certain units will have to be withdrawn for recuperation because they are completely losing their combat effectiveness, the UDA spokesman emphasized. He added that reinforcements from the 29th and 36th Combined Arms Armies of the Russian Federation can also be seen on this section of the front. Information is still being clarified in some places. Even units from the Dnieper direction may be or are already being redeployed to the Huliaipole sector, which is considered a promising area for the enemy, Bratchuk noted. Southern Defense Forces spokesman Vladislav Voloshin said that Ukrainian defenders are preventing Russian troops from capturing Huliaipole, a town in Zaporizhia. Therefore, the occupiers are attempting to remotely mine the town by dropping explosives from drones. According to Voloshin, the enemy is attempting to encircle the city from the north and south, and is also conducting a series of assault operations in the vicinity of Huliaipole and nearby settlements. He clarified that this is being done remotely using UAVs. The enemy's goal is to hinder the defense forces' search and strike operations and dislodge Russian groups seeking to consolidate their position in Huliaipole. Defense forces continue to destroy the enemy, who are attempting to amass in the city of Kupiansk. Ajaccio, the senior sergeant of the battalion tactical group of the 13th Brigade of the National Guard Charter, told Kyiv 24, "We've blocked their access routes and are continuing to carry out our assigned tasks. As of today, the enemy remains within the city. It's difficult to estimate their exact numbers because they haven't revealed themselves. Their primary tactical objective remains attempting to amass within the city. Our primary objective is to prevent this, block their access routes, and prevent them from advancing into the city and its outskirts," Ajaccio said. The soldier added that the elimination of Russian forces within the city itself is a matter of time. At the same time, a key task for Ukrainian defenders is to prevent further enemy forces from entering Kupiansk. These are isolated groups, often consisting of a single enemy soldier. They are attempting to use the underground gas pipeline as their primary route of infiltration into the city's outskirts. We control this pipeline and are familiar with its technical stations. We understand all the tactical nuances. We are trying to ensure that no enemy reaches the city, added Ajaccio. According to the military man, the Oskol River is currently frozen due to weather conditions, creating a convenient route for Russian invaders. We're monitoring this approach route and doing specific work to prevent enemy advance from this side. Overall, we're succeeding in fulfilling our assigned tasks, and those isolated enemy groups that are attempting to advance toward the city are dying, Ajaccio noted. Earlier, Ivan Tymochko, chairman of the Council of Reservists of the Ground Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, spoke about the clearing of Russian forces from Kupiansk. According to him, the city in the Kharkiv region has now been completely liberated. At the same time, he emphasized that there are several pockets of encircled occupiers in Kupiansk. Why are there still isolated pockets of occupiers? Because they need to be destroyed with minimal losses for the Ukrainian defense forces. The process of destruction is gradual. It's always better to exhaust the enemy to the point where they lose the ability to resist, then carry out their total destruction. But that always takes time, the expert shared. Tymochko emphasized that the Russians have not achieved the results they had hoped for. According to him, the defenders are currently blockading the occupiers, preventing them from breaking out. Tymochko also clarified that there are only 2 or 3 small pockets where the enemy is surrounded. He emphasized that the defense forces control the city and its surroundings, as well as the route along which the enemy was advancing. To say the city has been liberated is unequivocal. Those Russian soldiers who are cut off and surrounded, that's not the first time this has happened. A large number of troops could be sent into the attack to quickly and publicly declare that everyone is blocked and destroyed, but that means a loss of men and significant resources in terms of weapons. So it's always better to wear down the enemy to the point where they lose the ability to resist. Then they can be completely destroyed, but that always takes time, the expert stated.